Have you ever stopped to look at the image of light in the last of the major arcanas? This is a sequence that fascinates me. I'm starting with the devil. If we have a look at the devil, we have here the image of fire. And actually, if you think about it, there's not really that much fire in the Rider Waite deck. One would imagine that in the Four of Wands, in the center of the card, there should be a fire lit, but there isn't. But here we have the burning brand thrust down to highlight the darkness of this card. And to me, that is what really draws my attention to the fact that the devil is about shadow work, because the light is there to highlight that this blackness is shadow, because of course it is light that creates shadow. I often think a good way to think about the devil is lighten up, throw some light onto the situation, because this to me is a very important image. And then, of course, we have fire again. So we hardly have any fire in the entire deck, and suddenly we have fire in 2 cards running. That has to be important. But here the fire is a cleansing fire. And the image of light that we have here, as well as the flames, is of course the lightning. Now, lightning is just the most amazing phenomenon. I happen to have been in a house that was struck by lightning. My stepfather, was leaning out of a metal window when the lightning hit the chimney and came down the side of the house and literally threw him across the room. Our house used to be on a hill, in case you were wondering. Lightning is, we forget the power of lightning. Lightning also fertilizes the soil. Some permaculture followers will put copper rods in the earth to attract the lightning. It changes the nitrogen and creates nitrates that is usable by plants. Lightning is fascinating. Imagine what lightning must have felt like when we didn't have planes or fireworks or all the big loud light noise that we have now. It must have literally felt earth-shattering. And there we have lightning. I often imagine this as the hand of God, the quickening, the road to Damascus moment, a shocking revelation. The tower, we have lightning. And then, of course, now we go from the shocking revelation to the literal revelation. I know I'm talking about light, but I'm also going to point out here that the lady in the star is naked. And actually, we don't have, apart from the Adam and Eve images, we don't have that much nakedness in the Rider Waite deck. So this is an unveiling. And the light, of course, is coming from stars. And stars do shine, but they shine from outside of our world, effectively. I mean, I know they are within our universe, but they're not within us. They're not us. It's not our sun. It feels like a otherworldly light. It is a light from a long, 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 long way away. And this light, this star, has 8 points. There are 8 stars, and they all have 8 points. So in the northern hemisphere, the pole star stays in the same position over the North Pole, and all the other stars progress around it. It is the only still star in the Northern Hemisphere. So that, to me, this is the points of the compass. This is a star by which you can guide your life, and the star that you would guide your navigation by in the Northern Hemisphere is the North Star. But light again. And now we have light again. And notice how this moon even appears to be shining. We have rays coming out of it. It's almost as if Pamela Coleman Smith is highlighting us to the fact that the light is coming from the moon. But of course, scientifically, we know The light is not coming from the moon. The moon does not shine. The moon reflects. The moon reflects the sunlight. And so we have moonlight here, reflected light. And when something is reflected, it is distorted. You're so used to, probably, big presumption, seeing your own reflection in the mirror that you don't realize you're looking at a distorted, reflected image. And the best way to understand this is to try and read or write in the mirror. And then you'll realize that the mirror distorts and reflects. Maybe not much, but it does. And we go from the moon, and do notice these rays around the moon. Pick out your Eight of Cups and notice that the moon in the Eight of Cups does not have the rays. So we go from the moon to the sun. And now we have the sun, the light shining from source. Just as the star shines from source, just it is further away, we could say. So now we have the clear source. So we have had light, 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 light. Now I see the tarot as windows. I see them as lessons that we need to learn. And we've had a whole series of lights lessons that we need to learn and understand and integrate. What happens if you just ignore them? What happens if you're like, yeah, I know, light's an image, but I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to put on a sleep mask. I'm going to pull my hood right down over my eyes. I can ignore light. Well, good luck, because now we have sound. It is a big horn. It's not just a big horn, it is an angel blowing a big horn. It is not just an angel blowing a big horn, but we literally have the sound waves or the air, because of course it's the air that is moving through the horn that is creating the sound. We literally have the little rays there, the little, the blast of air that is making the sound has been highlighted. One of the reasons that I am endlessly in love with the Rider Waite deck, and I am, is because I think Pamela Coleman Smith, I'm sure she must have been intuitive or empathic, whatever we want to call it. I think her images are inspired. But I also think her technical skill as a set designer shines through. She knows how to add the smallest of details to highlight what she's saying to us. This is the sound. This is the air being burst through the horn to wake you up, just in case you've managed to sleep through all the light images. We have the light radiating out of the sun. We have the sunlight that is reflected and radiated out of the moon. We have the fact that this is an 8-pointed star, that we are meant to notice the value and importance of that, but the fact that it is an 8-pointed star and there are 8 of them. I always have to double check myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for you. The lightning is coming in from the side, and the flames are, you could almost experience the flames growing from inside. It is a powerful image. And the interplay between light and dark, highlighting that shadow, is what we are experiencing with the devil.